What's going on, YouTube? I'm Scotch.
I'm Sniff.
And we're ScotchNSniff.
Today we're going to be talking about Christmas bottles because this is our Christmas episode. I don't know what Christmas and Kung Fu have in common, but we're bringing it today. So today, the basic guidelines that we're going by are less than 50, less than 100, and less than 250.
And then we're also introducing a dream bottle.
We are, in fact, introducing dream bottles. So I'm going to get started with the less than 50, if that's okay. Go. Right here we have the Michter Sour Mash. I know it's not a Scotch. It is, in fact, I don't know if they call this a bourbon or not, but yes, it's amazing. It's whiskey, and it tastes fantastic. I have found it for anywhere as low as 27. I've paid as high as 44, and it's still amazing. It is classic sour mash deliciousness. It's actually, if you talk to Michters, they will tell you about how this was their original recipe from a bajillion years ago, before they were actually called Michters. And it's so good. I don't often have bottles that are this low in terms of how much I've been drinking them, but it's a fantastic daily. The price makes it amazing. And the flavors in it, it's classic bourbon. If you love classic bourbon, you will love this.
Awesome. My pick for the under 50 or around 50 range would be the Tamdhu Speyside Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. It's actually the cask strength one that I'm referring to, but this one will do great in its stead. And this one is a delicious bottle as well. Not only do you get this wonderful looking Art Deco bottle for that around $50, $55, it's just super sherried. The amount of sherry in it, it's amazing. Sherry is expensive. To buy the sherry casks, that's expensive. To think that you can age something in there, and this is only a 10-year age statement, or the 10-year cask strength, into these sherry casks and still have it be only $55, it's incredible. There are kind of mixes and nuances of sherry pheno. It's basically like a sherry story, and you go through all these different kinds of sherry flavors throughout this one bottle. It's just really delicious. It appeals to a lot of different people, and it's solid at $55.
Is it enough sherry to be called a Macallan?
It's not. So it's a competing type of sherry. Macallan sherry to me is very like dessert sherry, and it's very thick, old, aged sherry. And the difference is 18 years versus around a 10-year range, which, 8 years is a long time to sit into a cask. So yeah, I would say that this would be on the same range as a Macallan sherry.
Nice. The cheaper Macallan alternative.
Bing bong.
For under $100, I would like to go ahead and say that this right here. This is, without looking at the front of the bottle, I'm assuming that I put out the Belle Meade Cognac cask. So the Belle Meade Cognac cask and the Belle Meade Sherry cask are two absolutely amazing offerings from Belle Meade. And if you've ever talked to them, their story's incredible. The one brother, if he wasn't selling whiskey, he'd be an Arabic linguist. They have a crazy rich history and story that make up what goes into their bottles. But the offerings that they have, if you've tried the sour mash and you've judged Belle Meade by that, I promise you, put that to the side, spend, unfortunately, double the money.
Twice.
And get yourself something that you will enjoy constantly.
It's pretty amazing, the Belle Meade, and when we met them, their story is incredible. Charlie Nelson is a character, and it was great to meet him. But their whiskeys are just so approachable. Not only if you like sweet whiskeys, if you like spicy whiskeys, if you like higher proof whiskeys, they really kind of nail every head in the coffin. The sherry cask, it's the most, and this is what I tell all of my friends, coworkers, it's the most scotchy tasting bourbon you'll ever have because of those sherry notes, because of the oak from the bourbon. It's just
well balanced. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Your under $100 option?
My under $100 option would be Ardbeg Dark Cove. This released just this year, and honestly, it has made me more willing to accept the peat monster into my life.
It's absolutely true. It was the bottle we opened up the committee release, and if you're a fan of ours, you know that we hate peat. If you follow our blog at all, we're about to do a Compass Box review of the peat monster, and it's horrible, and we are completely honest about it, and we cannot stand the flavor of peat. It's disgusting, but this...
The whole smoked meat thing and spices and sweetness and salinity of the ocean, in the larger Ardbegs, Ardbeg 10, a lot of the cask strengths, Lafroigs, they're very it's just so overwhelming. That's the perfect word. But this Dark Cove is balanced. There's a perfect amount of sherry sweetness in there. The peat is not like an iodine peat. It's more like a sea salty peat. And it's just a great way to introduce yourself not only to Ardbeg, but into the $100 price market of a premium Scotch.
Just don't use it as an example of what Ardbeg typically offers. Yeah. This is their olive branch to Speyside lovers. This is their, hey, come give us a try. We won't try to murder your palate with disgusting rubber bands and nastiness.
We've actually heard a lot of actual peat lovers don't like this one just because it's too sweet. It doesn't taste like the normal Ardbeg range. And having tasted and having owned a lot of the other Ardbegs, we can, attest to that as well. It doesn't taste like anything the Ardbeg really puts out, which is nice.
So next up on the Christmas list, under $2.50, it chose me, the Macallan 18. If you've ever tried it, it's so good. It's worth buying a second bottle of. Like this second bottle right here. Because as you can see, there are a whole lot of bottles that I don't drink. So obviously we're recommending these things for Christmas because they're things that we would drink a lot of, as you can see here. I mean, some of them we just haven't had time to get around to. I mean, they're new releases, but the Macallan 18, unfortunately, is a classic. And we say under $2.50 today, but the prices, we have no idea what's going on with the market.
It's been going up so much recently.
It's been a little nutty. If you can find it for under $2.50, it's... If you can find it for under $2.50, it's great. If you love chocolate, if you love oranges, if you love chocolate-covered oranges, if you love sherry, if you love sherry-covered chocolate-covered oranges...
I love sherry chocolate-covered oranges.
You will fall in love with the 18. It's that good. Worth the $2.50.
But it really is getting pricey, and it's starting to even climb out of the $250 market. At my store has it at $289.
That's too much.
And it's just, it's good. But $289 when Glenlivet's 18 is coming in at around $100? Like, what is going on, So there are things to consider. My $250, which is actually less than $250, isn't even a Scotch or a whiskey at all.
Blasphemy.
But it comes in this wonderful, its own package. It's wrapped for you, and you have this feeling, oh, I'm unwrapping a gift. This is great.
That's just paper.
This is great. It's actually the Martell Cordon Bleu.
What?
It's cognac.
That's not even whiskey.
That's right. If you want the flavors of aged whiskey, and if you enjoy a more sweeter palate of things, this cognac is the way to go. It's got spice. It's got this thing called rancio. They invented their own flavor for it. Rancio is like this aged Pappy Van Winkle type caramel and vanilla type flavors. It's amazing. They're aged in limousine casks, and they're all blends because, in all honesty, blends sometimes take away the harsh notes of things. That's the whole point of blends. It's just really delicious, and I bought this bottle for $125, which really breaks into this market. But this is a special occasion type thing where you'll be getting tons of sherry-ish flavors because they don't age it in sherry, but then also orange and chocolate-covered orange. It's amazing how this cognac will emulate all different kinds of scotches and all different kinds of whiskeys, but not be anywhere near associated with it because this comes from grapes.
Wait, so the difference between whiskey and whatever that is you're just distilling grapes instead of distilling barley or corn or...
That's right, or grain of any type. This is coming purely from grapes. They distill them in column stills, and then they put them into limousine oak, just, similar styles. Comes off as an eau de vie, a clear liquid. Eau de vie means water of life, and a lot of these, whiskey beige and eau de vie are similar. And then they age them in these barrels. It comes and it gets this wonderful color. Now, nice. Cognacs are known for getting colorant added to them, but in all honesty, a little caramel color, it doesn't kill anybody. You really, they've done research where people won't buy whiskeys if they're not dark enough or rich looking enough. There are some whiskeys that we have that have aged 25 years in oak, and they're almost clear. They look like they're a little bit tinted yellow. And a lot of people will look at that and be like, well, why would I want something that's aged and it doesn't have that rich history? But this one is very dark and rich, as you can see, but it's also delicious. And I haven't really touched much of the bottle because we're always tasting other whiskeys, but cognac has a place in my heart. Anyways.
That's some kind of special. So if you're looking for this, this is from $250 to $100 to under $50. But we also, every Christmas, we like to do a dream bottle pick.
Dream.
Which is just our absolutely nuttiness. Do you mind if I grab mine?
No, please.
So my dream bottle is the whiskey of the year. Just kidding. This Booker's Rye actually isn't that great. It's great for a rye. Is it $300 great? Have you had Michter's Barrel Proof Rye? Have you had, I can immediately think of a couple other ryes that I'd rather have. You had Jefferson's Rye? Have you had, I mean, so many other people have these ryes that taste fantastic. And unfortunately, I'm afraid that that's part of the reason why a lot of people are moving away from Jim Murray's whiskey Bible. They're afraid maybe he's lost his touch. Especially since Crown Royal's Harvest Rye. Everybody was like, maybe you're losing it, buddy.
Yeah.
But this isn't actually my dream bottle.
That is a good bottle, by the way, but if you've read any of our reviews about that, it's more of a bourbony type of rye, where the rye flavors are there, but it's more hidden.
So my dream bottle, and this is going to sound weird, but it's any bottle you can find that's hard to find for retail, or close to retail. I know this is like a dream that you always hear about on, especially bourbon forums, if you read there, people are always like, oh wow, I found this for $75, and then you've got to find, don't ever support the secondary market, don't ever buy it. No. Sometimes you just get lucky, you find something for maybe $150, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna grab it because it's something I've tasted once, I know it's awesome, and I just wanna grab more of it. So, anytime I'm dreaming, I try to find it and stop the dream and wake up and have it. And your dream bottle?
And my dream bottle, which would fit in this space right around here, is actually coming back from 2015, is the Hibiki 30. I don't have $5,500 to drop on a 30-year-old bottle of amazing Japanese sun rays in a bottle. Suntory, if you're out there and you're listening, if you want to, gift me a bottle for this, I've been a really good boy. Does that help? But I picked up a sample off of a website that sells samples for $135.18, and I think it was worth it every day. At 30 years of age, that's an amazing amount of time that this whiskey was spending in an oak barrel, and I remember it handling it perfectly, and just being this dream draping across my tongue, a dream draping across my tongue, and just bringing me to another level of heightened sensing.
So apparently you can buy dreams for Christmas.
So you can drink.
Go ahead and let us know what you're buying this year for Christmas. Maybe you're buying a loved one, or maybe you're buying yourself some magical Christmas whiskey. Just
and comment down below.
Yep, comment down below. Let us know what it is you love, and maybe we can talk about it.
Jingle bells, jingle jingle all the way.
$135
Oh,
an
what
ounce.
fun.